All right, hello and welcome back, everybody. Guess what's going on? YBI fam, we're back.
We're
If you
back.
don't, it's Roman. We have Zion. We're all here. Welcome, welcome.
Man. Woo.
Applause.
What you mean? Well, I feel like where's the little
I just clicked the camera. Brr,
where's
brr,
the
brr, brr.
situation at? Throw one of those on there for me, man, because it's been way too long. It's been way too long. It's been like a year and a half. That's the one that we're looking for right there. We're
This,
back, y'all. Man, it's been a good long while. It's been like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It's been like COVID. Like interest rates have gone up and down. Roman and I are 47 years old. We're not even young no more. Are we
we're not
considered
even
broke
young
anymore?
no
Like I don't
more.
understand. Like do we have to change the
I,
title of the
I,
show?
I was, you know what? We could talk about that. Because I was kind of thinking about that at some point. I was like, it still works. It still works, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
explain
we're
why
we're
it
on
kind of
the
still
oldest
works.
end of young possible. Like that's what it is. We're just like the oldest possible young that we could possibly be. But technically not broke at this particular point in our lives, and I'm here for that. But when we started this show, at the inception of the show, you know what? We're getting ahead of ourselves. First and
We're
foremost,
giving our head of the shows.
where is the what is our tagline, Roman? Like where we at? Like it's clearly been too long, and we have not, you know, we've fallen out. You know what I mean?
You
Like
know,
what's our tagline? What do we do here?
here at YBI, we discuss ways where you can grow yourself and your financial means. We are going to tell the podcast a little bit differently, where instead of us more trying to keep you more up to date on what kind of business news is going on, we're taking you all more on a journey of ourselves and our own money journeys and kind of where we're at as we're kind of growing up. As you can kind of even get for where Zion's like coming up for his next family update for you all as well.
Yeah. There's so much. There's so much. And if you guys looked at the promo that we posted, I don't know if it was yesterday, or if it was last month, or if it was last week, but
It went up.
we posted a little something that was a snippet of all of the different things that we have been going through over the last year and a half, 2 years, since we were last posting, and that's kind of where the show is headed now. It's less going to be about the things that we've invested in and been invested in, but guarantee we will still have some of that. But now with the major shifts that have happened in our lives, we've had to adapt financially, and we really want to be able to get into that aspect of what our financial journeys have been over the last couple of years, and where we anticipate going for the next couple of years. But you guys will be here for the entire journey. Hopefully, if we don't take another hiatus for a couple years, but we here, man. We here. So this episode is really going to be focused on where we've been, on what we've been up to,
What you
and
got
then
going on?
we're going to be getting into the nitty gritty of why YBI left for such a prolonged amount of time, where we plan on going with this. Do we have a sponsor this episode?
Well, really, a few people are going to be thinking. One is going to be Lactose Entertainment for letting us use the studio that I'm recording in. If you guys are in LA, you can go check them out and book space there. I might be your engineer there. Who knows? Um,
Solid.
that's all.
Solid.
Thank Anchor. They'll hear that in the message that's coming up, though. They'll hear from
Anchor,
Anchor.
yeah. We have so many channel sponsors, and you guys have been so patient with us, and supporting us through all of the trials that we've gone through the last couple years, and not being able to post consistently and all that fun stuff. But through it all, we've been able to come back, and now we feel like we're in a place that's actually much stronger than where we left it last. There's still people that are following. There's still people that are liking and sharing and subscribing and all that fun stuff. And we really, really, really do appreciate that more than you even know. Because Roman and I both have jobs. We both have lives. We both have a lot of stuff that's going on. So to know that this is something that's needed and wanted in the community just makes it that much more impactful for when we do have the time and sit down to actually make this happen. So yeah, why be out, man? What a good time.
You know. And all right, so let's listen to this message, and we'll get right back with you all.
All right. Thank you so much to our amazing sponsor. There's going to be so many more to come, and we have so much lined up for you guys in the coming days, weeks, episodes, all of those fun things. But today's episode is really a deep dive into Roman, our host, Roman. We're going to be getting into all of his personal business. All of his personal business is coming out here. So if you don't follow him on Instagram, social media, all that other fun stuff, you can do that where? That's
At Romyro Mixes, ROMYROMIXES,
all
everywhere
right.
at
And what does
Romyro
that mean
Mixes.
exactly? What is a Romy mix?
Romyro Mixes. I'm a sound engineer by trade now. I'm going full time into that. That's what I went to school for. That's what I'm doing full time here in LA. So whether it's sound design, recording, mixing, that's
Okay,
Romyro
so
Mixes.
I think that you already
Production.
kind of just jumped ahead because people gonna be like, wait, what? Didn't you live in Chicago? So what the heck is going on? Why aren't you here?
I did. I decided that I wanted a reset. Me and my fiance. If y'all didn't know, I
Dropping
got
all the
engaged.
dimes.
Yay! When we will throw up a little picture. But I got engaged, and then we already knew that we wanted to live in California. That already knew kind of our move, and our plan was kind of already do that. But it kind of lined up to where it was the right time and place to do so. I ended up applying for a few jobs out here. Got one, and I was like, you know what, it's time for us to go ahead and do it. If we don't do it now, we probably never going to do it. So make the jump.
That's
Took the risk.
so. If
Here we are.
anybody is ultimately concerned about what happened to YBI, blame Roman because he left. You know, like the time difference and everything. We just gonna blame him, and we're gonna move right along. We're not gonna ask any more questions.
This is a
We're not gonna
50-50
ask any more
partnership.
questions. We're gonna blame Roman and move right along. Uh, nah, for real though.
Okay.
So yeah, Roman got engaged. I don't know if we're sharing your partner's name, but they cool. Yeah, okay,
Alex
Alex.
is
Alex
fine.
is
Her
cool.
name's
You know what I'm
Alex.
saying?
They cool. She
We're
cool.
very excited for them. I'll be at the wedding probably. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be the best man or whatever. So we'll see. We'll
like, he's
see.
only the
You know,
best
if
man.
I
Okay.
happen to show up, I'll make some time on my calendar. Maybe we'll do an episode on wedding planning and how that's going for you financially. There's so much stuff.
I don't want to talk
Man,
about it.
I'm already knowing. Okay, so let's talk about it, man. So over the last 2 years, so we paused right during like the start mid of COVID, and that's when you decided to uproot your family and move to LA. No,
No, was it really? No, we were coming out of. We were like things were starting
was
to
it?
open back up. I think. No, you're right.
Yeah,
Things were still
things
closed down. Things were still
bro.
pretty closed
We've been
down.
out of here for a while.
Yeah, you're right. Things were still
So
closed down, but it felt like things were starting to
yeah,
open
yeah.
up
I mean, it still feels like things are starting to open up, but here we are, years and years later.
as we go through.
So you moved, you uprooted your family. I mean, how did that entire process come to be? Because I mean, obviously, people get on Zillow and they look for houses across the country all the time, realize that they can't afford anything and all that other stuff. So how financially did this move impact you? Because we know that the economical situation in Chicago and Illinois is very different. Like the economic climates are so different in California versus Chicago and Illinois. So how did you figure that you could make that move considering that California is supposed to be far more expensive than it is here in Chicago?
Actually, at least we lucked out on our place. Even like people that come and visit us will tell us like you for the space that we got, we definitely lucked out for it compared to other LA places. We're living in Hollywood now, and our rent now is actually only $30 more than what we were paying in Chicago. Well, each so $60 total, but our rent in our last place came out to around like $760, and we're paying $800 here. So it's like it's only $30 more. So right then and there, the big like LA cost of living difference for us, we didn't necessarily feel. Now we did luck out. We have really good roommates. They found a really good place with a really good price. That does not happen for everyone. And I do know some people living out here right now who are living like a 1-bedroom by themselves, and they're paying between 1,200 and like 2,400 by themselves. So like that cost of living definitely can differ depending on like your situation, kind of what's going on. But we lucked out that our cost of living right now has been almost pretty much the same. And some things that have changed in my life have made those things also kind of balance out. But yeah, so far we lucked out on that one.
That's what's
I would
up.
say
That's
on
what's
that.
up. I mean, my sister moved out there not too long before you did, and she just found a place like literally within the last couple months that she's actually planning on staying in for a longer amount of time. But she had been bouncing around from place to place, and everything was super expensive. So yeah, that's different. I know I went to California and I was like, bro, I can never afford to live here. If I could, I probably would, but you know.
You know, and, and that just comes to the situation. I will say that me and my lady, we are the dinkwads as you hear nowadays. We are the double income, like no kids with the dog. That's us. We know we have 2 roommates, and we are very much living that kind of the more new ages current time of like the what was it, Gen Z millennial, like almost half typical lifestyle. It's almost either in our generation that people already kind of got their lives full on going. They already got married, kids, house, and all that jazz, or they're still kind of like just being like, nope, this market right now, we missed the wave of being able to get a house, and now we gonna rent until things get more
Yeah,
affordable.
we won't have to get into we won't have to get
Especially
into
in
that.
LA.
We won't have to get into the housing climate and how all that changed. But so what else would you say is another major milestone? Because obviously the move was massive for you. Getting a new job was massive. Getting engaged was massive. So I mean, just talk about some of the other successes that you feel like you've had, in the time that we've taken a break over the last couple of years.
The biggest success for me was really the investment in myself. We always talked about it on this show was we have to take that time to not only invest our money and have it work for us, but that to take the time to and also invest in ourselves. And I took that time to do that. Sound was always my passion, but while I was in Chicago, I was bar managing and I was doing a lot of things in that management lifestyle while doing sound on the side. I didn't make that my full focus because I like the guaranteed of a salary. I was like, this is management, guaranteed money. I don't got to worry about nothing. Like we just gonna kind of keep this flow going. I'd rather keep the benefits in that such. I didn't want to take the risk. But when we came out here, I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. If I don't do it now, I already went to college. I already paid for the degree. What's the point of me if I don't actually try this and see if I can do it? And I lucked out to where I think right because when we moved out here, COVID kind of things were just starting to open back up after that to where I was able to get lined up and hustle my way into a lot of doors. And we can speak. I can speak a lot into the industry as far as just my experience of being a sound engineer, but I work for about 5 different companies, a couple of them being W-2'd, a few of them being 1099, and me being freelance with them, and they call me with contracts, and I do jobs with them. So it just kind of depends on where you want to get your money, income, and that flow going forward. I really lucked out on that. That's why, and they're all in a few of the different industries where right now, Hollywood's in a big strike. So like some of my work is slowed down. Some of my work is still pretty busy. It just depends on what industry that kind of hits it in. And that was probably been the success of that. I've been able to invest more in my own mental health, my own physical health, my relationship health with my lady. Just being able to take that time and do all of that. I feel like the reset to California gave us that time and that space to kind of do all of
I
that.
mean, Roman just brought up so many different points, and I mean, I think that it's important
Bop, bop,
for
bop.
if all of the new listeners, all the old listeners too, go back and check out so many of our old episodes because he referenced investing in self. He referenced the difference between 1099 and W-2. I talked to somebody not too long, like literally last week, that didn't know the difference between 1099 and W-2. Like all of these, there's so many things that we might just be dropping through, and if you ever feel like, hey, you don't know what we're talking about, send us a comment or leave a comment below. We'll get to you. Or there's so many videos that we've already talked about a lot of the topics, but there's other things that we're gonna be deep diving into, like Roman and talking about sound engineering and so many other things.
DM us on Instagram. Just DM us on there if you guys want to talk about any topics, or hit us up through the email, and we can talk to you guys, or just we'll let you know if we're gonna put it on the podcast. We'll probably take all ideas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got ideas. Yeah, we got a lot of ideas. Right now, we got stuff literally through the end of the year, so I don't know what we gonna need, but we'll get to everybody as much as we can. So obviously you did a lot of stuff that was successful through the rest of the year, but what are some things that you feel like you could have done better or that you wish that you would have changed in the time?
Probably would be. I should have thought about this question, shouldn't I? And I wrote the question. What could I have done better? It probably would have been planning of getting more things. We did a really good job of moving across the country.
He drove across the
but
country,
I think if I
which
could
was
do it
wild. We got to
differently,
get into that at some point.
we drove across the country, and then we had our stuff shipped across the country, like for kind of as we went across the country. For our situation during the time, like I think it was the right move. But if I would move that far again, I would definitely do it a little bit differently and do a little bit more planning. And now I know more options about where to go to ship things that far and how to move things that far. Just having the experience of having to do that again, I would knock that out. Having more of an estimation. Like we saved up money for it and we had a good goal of a budget in mind, but of course as all budgets do, we overshot that by some amount, and it wasn't like a crazy amount, but just knowing that more of a realistic about how much it would cost to actually do that type of move, that would probably be the biggest thing. And just for me now, I would say it's now been officially about a year of us moving here, I'll even let you know we're recording this on August 1st, and we left Chicago on July 31st, so I think we were on the road and we got here like August 4th or something like that of last year. So it's been about a year here now, and I would say I wish I explored more of LA. I work almost too much sometimes, but I've been in this motion of like trying to invest in my career, which I'm not gonna lie, I do not regret though, because it's been some really nice opportunities.
I mean, when it comes to the investing itself, it's kind of difficult to learn when to press pause, because we oftentimes put ourselves in that mode where we're constantly on that grind and we like, man, I just don't know how to stop. Like I literally just don't know how to stop. Roman obviously works several jobs, like you said, for several different companies. We still have this. He still has, like, there's so many other things that we're doing, but the investment itself is so important, and nobody else is going to make that investment for you. Like, that's what's crazy, is that even your spouse, not your spouse, your fiance, that clearly likes your face a little bit, she's not going to invest in you the same way that you going to invest in yourself. And that's for everybody. Like, so you have to be willing to take that, but we also need to find balance. Like, you and me and us, like, specifically, we got to find balance somewhere. But I know that a lot of our viewers and listeners that are trying to get on that grind are gonna have a leg up, just because they know that they're going to find a piece of balance in there. So cling to that and know that.
I do want to do an episode at some point about workaholics and just
we can do that now.
Like just guys and just feeling like we need to work and provide.
Yeah, we don't have
time for that now.
When we get to my episode, y'all will see.
But definitely talk on that.
I get that all the time. Like, more than anything, when people meet me, they're like, "Are you a workaholic?" I'm like, "Yeah." What are you talking about? Like, duh. That's a stupid question.
Do you not see me? Do you not see what's going on?
All right, so what are we looking at for the rest of the year? There's a lot of stuff that you have going on right now. So what's the rest of the year supposed to be looking like for you?
More growth, more evolution, as far as just start getting this pod finally back going and getting it just more traction there. Looking at just still growing. I got some goals for the investments coming up here that I want to reach and hit those milestones by the end of the year. Now that we're halfway through it, finalize some more things out for the wedding and get things like that. Because that's almost about a year out now too. So it's really just those final end of the year things to get laid out, and that's probably my rest of the year is gonna be more focused on those few things. Everything else right now, I've gotten to a pretty good point, so I can kind of chill out on some things and put more focus into
Okay, so what's going on with your particular investment account strategies? I know that we ended, I don't even know what episode we were on, like 30 something, 40 something, 70 something, I don't remember.
On the M1 10K portfolio. That portfolio is still there. I'm still contributing to it. My goal was to get that one to like 15K by the end of this year. Really the goal of 15K just so it could in that case, by the time it hits 15K in that portfolio, it should be paying out about $50 a month in dividends, like by itself. And I want that to just start compounding. And I might slow down on contributing to that portfolio a little bit, just so I can put more money in other like investment areas. But so far, that investment portfolio is doing fine. I forgot where it was year to date, but it's still up around, I think, 8 or 9% this year, which is good considering how this year has gone. So far, so good. I have not really changed anything as far as my investment person and how I feel. I'm still a dividend growth investor, like through and through to the end. I have started practicing and doing some day trading, which maybe I'll talk about it, maybe I won't. I got a tracker and everything. That's been kind of fun. I've been liking actually that experience of testing out that side of investing. Usually I've been a person that's very much against day trading, but I was like, you know what? don't knock it till you try it. Let me just play around with it. And I'm not definitely playing with thousands of dollars, but let me just play with a few dollars here and there and see if I can make something happen. But that's as far as good on investments right now. I do want to get some land here far out in a little bit future here, whether it's for land I want to use for investment property in and of itself, or just something I want to build on, or something I want to use in event space. But either way, I guess I won't.
Okay, so when it comes to real estate specifically, since we're talking about you and what you try to do in life, are you planning on buying? And what's your take on the economic climate currently, especially when it comes to housing market in California? Are you trying to buy a house? Or are you trying to buy a space? Like, would you buy a house first, or would you say, let me just go buy an investment property first and just kind of see what happens from there?
Because I think we definitely want to live in California for at least another 2 to 5 years. I would, if I buy anything right now, it will probably be an empty lot, or it would be just something I could just use as a secondary rental property, Airbnb. Even if it's not here, even if it's like in Nevada or like the Vegas area, only because California is so expensive to buy. If I saw a good deal, I would hop on that. But also, interest rates are the highest they've kind of been right now, so I'm kind of also just really stockpiling up cash for when they do start to kind of go down a little bit. If they do, if not, you kind of get in where you can. If there's a good deal that's out there, it's going to be better than not grabbing it more than anything, but it's kind of keeping your head out or your eyes open for that. Or even just like a plot of land, even like by Joshua Tree or somewhere like that I can kind of get and put like a tent situation, be able to go out there and camp and kind of hold that land until someday someone's going to want to develop it and just want to buy it from me for 10 times what I paid for it. In that either or, whatever I kind of see out there in the world.
Yeah, I mean, California is a. I feel like California is always on its own circuit when it comes to finances. Like, it's so absurdly expensive for a lot of the things out there, but a lot of the stuff continues to go up in value. So there's still so many good investment opportunities, and so many people are moving out there. Well, a lot of people are actually moving away because
it's just the barrier of
it's like
entry.
when you get there,
Yeah.
once you get there, it's crazy. Like, it's so nice. I love California. I would never move to LA, but I mean, hey, what you doing?
Said I would never move to LA.
Oh, I would
Never
never
say
move to
never.
LA. I went to
Never
LA
know about
and
that.
I didn't love it. San Diego, different story. I'll move there right now. Yeah.
That's true. A lot of people do like those areas, San Francisco, San Diego. I mean, yeah, California overall is expensive, especially in the city areas. But it's really the housing, if anything, is probably the most expensive part. Everything else compared to Chicago that I've seen has been very similar. Taxes are a little bit higher as far as like income goes, but besides that, it's pretty close, at least living wise. Like going to the grocery store, just day to day stuff. I no longer put gas in a car really because I got an electric car now. But I've noticed that gas prices here are still more expensive than Chicago or Illinois, of course, but they not that
bought an
much
electric car?
more.
I didn't know that.
I did.
What
I
you
did.
get?
We can
You get
talk
a
about
Prius?
that.
You get a Leaf?
No, I wish honestly the new Prius looks really nice.
You
But I
got
got
a
a
Leaf,
Leaf.
okay.
I got a Nissan Leaf because it was a starter one. I tried it out. We'll talk about that, of course, at some point in the whole economics of that. Because
Yeah.
it's a lot. Well, not a lot on the cost. It's more just how to go into buying a car and if you maybe want to buy an electric car without these subsidies
Yeah.
and opportunities out there.
I
The government's
just
handed
purchased a new
out.
car last week, and somebody else talked to me
Oh, yeah.
a couple days ago about the car buying the car buying experience and everything. So that's definitely something we're gonna have to get into because we did not have an episode on that. But long story short,
Oh, yeah, we did.
somebody tried to finesse me. So yeah, we're gonna have to get into that for sure. Is there anything else that you want to get into about your stuff, life, transition, etc., etc.?
No. If I feel like if anything that's going to come up, it'll come up as we kind of have our discussions really about our lives because we're going to talk about things that kind of more come up and we'll do deeper dives into that. This episode is more just a quick update about what's going on, and as we have more episodes, you'll learn more, we'll talk more, you'll see more, all the
Cool.
things.
Cool. So, thank you to our special guest, Roman. Haha, he's here every week or every day, whatever. But yeah, that's what's happening. So that's what's going on in Roman's life, where he's been, where we've been. Well, not where we've been, where Roman's been, where he currently resides. So if you guys are looking for him out on the streets, it's going to be in LA. It's not going to be in Chicago. So debt collectors, that's where he's at. But Thank you guys so much for bearing with us over the last couple years to get to where we currently are. Clearly, things have changed pretty significantly.
My dreads got a little longer.
His dreads got longer. I changed spaces. I'm in a whole new space. YBI is on the TV. That's kind of
Yeah,
lit.
I need to put something YBI back here. Maybe see if
Yeah,
like,
you
social
know,
let me- I'll just put something up real quick.
We're going to be doing a lot. We're going to be doing a lot. And we just want you guys to kind of bear with us. What's our posting schedule? Do we know? Do we have one?
Wednesdays, Fridays.
That's the one. And
Wednesdays,
you guys can check
Fridays.
us out on Podcaster, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Google,
Anchor,
Spotify, all
Google,
of them.
something. Yeah.
If
YouTube,
you all want to comment or something,
Instagram,
comment below.
Twitter,
Yeah.
TikTok.
Hit us
Not
up on
really,
Instagram,
but yeah.
TikTok. Yeah, Zion's doing all the dance moves.
This is the only one I got.
It's great.
That's all I got.
It's great.
Yeah. But yeah, we are very excited to be back, and we can't wait to get engage with you all, to get you guys engaged with the content again, and get back to doing what we love, which is talking about finance and talking about what's going on in life and our successes and failures. So you guys can make fun of us in the comment section.
Yay! Internet trolls.
Love it. Can't wait. This is gonna be amazing. All right, Roman, get us out of here, man.
Well, as you already know, we may be young, we may be broke, but we are always investing.
Till next time, y'all. Peace.